Hey guys, give it just a couple of seconds. We're going to go ahead and start for tonight. Today is Wednesday, Wednesday, December the 16th. Christmas is next week. Hey guys, my name is Lady A Ward. Thank you for tuning in with me once again tonight. Do me a quick favor, guys. As always, I ask you to click like and share. There you'll be able to see all of my music videos along with all of the courses that I do teach. Thank you for tuning in on tonight, YouTube. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, Instagram. Don't forget, please just click like and share. I appreciate it. Also, we are on Ward Fun podcast tonight as well. Thank you guys for tuning in. So we are going to still be talking about women staying safe while they're, I know you on YouTube saw Ward go out the door. Okay. It's always something, always something. So we are talking about women staying safe in a relationship. Since I am on YouTube live tonight, usually I'll do a recording, but I decided to go live tonight just to do a recap. What we talked about last night. We talked about you are thinking about being in a relationship. You're thinking about either living together or you want to get married. And I was explaining to the women that there are some things, some red flags, guys, that we need to look out for. Now we understand that there are men that is being abused as well. It is not uncommon. It does happen. So, but tonight this week, we're really focusing on the woman itself. So don't take it, don't beat me up in the head, guys. I'm not bashing any guys, anything, but we just want to try to help the women on this week. But we do understand that there are men as well that is being abused. So last night we talked about, I gave you some red flags to look into before you actually make a commitment. I said that it is good to always think before you make a committed decision, whether you're thinking about living together, whether you're thinking about marrying this person. You always see the signs, guys, and a lot of times we see the signs, but we ignore it. That little person that's on our shoulder says, well, they can change. It's not going to always be like that. You can change them. No, when you get those feelings, you want to sit back, watch, and listen and pay attention. You want to pay attention to how that individual acts. Some of the red flags that we talked about last night that I gave you, do they have a temper? You want to pay attention when you're out and about, when you're, wherever you may be. You may be in the store with them. You may be out on a date. How do they interact with the waitress or the waiter? If they bring food back that is not the way that they said that they wanted, how are they interacting with that individual? Do they have a temper? That may be an issue. That could be a red flag for you. Are they a jealous person? Do they get jealous when someone else speaks to you? Do they get jealous when someone gives you a compliment? You want to pay attention to those things. Sometimes, it could be that it just could be that particular circumstances, or they're going through having a bad day. We want to be very careful of that. Okay. Another thing I gave you was, are they demanding? Are they bossy? Are they always telling you what to do? Are they telling you what you can't do, where you can go, what you can wear, what you cannot wear? You want to be mindful and be very careful of these kind of things. Do they work? I said last night that their life happens. Sometimes we lose our jobs. Sometimes we get fired. Sometimes we may get laid off at this particular time in the situation that we are going through globally around the world. People have lost their jobs, but that's not what we're talking about. If this is an individual that is not working, you want to watch out for patterns. So we understand that, yes, these things can happen, but is it something that is happening over and over again? If so, you want to pay attention to that. That may be some issues that you will have to deal with if you're living with this person. You would have to deal with it if you're married to this person. So what this is that we talked about last night is that we're trying to prevent us from getting in an abusive relationship. A lot of times when people are dealing with those things, they're dealing with temper, they're dealing with being jealous, they're dealing with not having employment. Sometimes that can go over to the other person that we are living with. That can cause abuse. Okay. So we want to try to prevent these things ahead of time before it happens. I also said another red flag. Are they living with someone? Like I said, life happens. Certain things happen. We may have to bunk up with somebody. We may have to live with our parents at some point in time. That's fine. But if that does occur, you want to pay attention to patterns. Is this person in and out? Can this person keep a job? Pay attention to patterns. I also said that, ladies, if you feel uneasy, if something is in you saying, maybe I should wait a little bit, maybe I shouldn't really get married, but you feel like you're being pushed, that's a red sign. That is a red flag. You want to pay attention to that. A lot of times we are already seeing the signals. We're seeing the signs that maybe I need to hold off on this. Maybe I need to wait a little while longer. But sometimes what we do, like I said, that person that's on that other side of your shoulder, go ahead. It's going to work out. You can do it. He'll change. You can make him change. No, we're going to check that red flag. We talked about checking those red flags. So ladies, if you feel uneasy, do not make a decision until that feeling changes. If that feeling does not change, then maybe that may not be the person for you at this particular time. Sometimes people have to mature. Sometimes people have to go through their situations in order for them to be healthy in a relationship. You don't want to get someone that is not at the level where they're ready to be married, or that they are not ready to live together. They could still have issues or something that they're going through that they need to deal with. A lot of times, if we accept that individual, that will come on to us, ladies, and we do not want to be in harm's way. Okay, so those are some of the things that we talked about last night. I also said that the majority of the time, ladies, for us to find out exactly how that man is, for us to find out what that man deals with, how his attitude is, what kind of issues, they can be more usually on their best behavior anywhere, I say, from 3 to 6 to 9 months, somewhere in there. Some men will show you their true colors before then. Some are a little later than that. But within that time frame, you should have enough time to sit back and actually look at that individual and see if there's something that you want to deal with, or if it's something that you can deal with. Now, we also know that when you actually live with that individual, or when you're actually getting married, there are some things that you're going to have to learn. That's just life. We understand that, but we want to make sure that at least we pull out the big things, okay? We want to pay attention to the more important things. The other things, it comes with just being married to someone. The other things comes with just living with someone. So that's what we talked about last night. Now today, we're going to get into a little meat, more discussing abuse. Okay, so sometimes we get into a relationship. Hey, maybe we didn't see the signs, we ignore the signs, whatever the case is, we're here now. Okay, so we're either living with someone or we have decided to marry this individual. I know situations where looks like everything was going fine, and then once that person got married or they started living together, then things started changing. Why does that happen? That happens because life happens to that individual. Sometimes people do not know how to handle the situation. So what do? They take it out on the person that is most closest to you. Guess who that's going to be? That's going to be you, huh? Okay, so we have to be careful of that. Let me read some of these comments. Got to pay attention to people's behavior. You don't know a person until you live with them. That is true. But as far as we don't know a person until we live with them, there are extra things that you're going to find out just by living with that individual. But there are signs that you are going to see that's going to make you say, no, maybe I better not do that one. No, maybe we better just wait a little longer on that. Okay. So pay attention. I guarantee you, ladies, there were signs that you saw to let you think like maybe I should wait a little longer, or maybe this is not the ones, but we ignored it. It happens. Tonight, you are married or you are now living with that individual. Okay, we're there. This is it. You are being abused while you are now in this situation. Abuse is, we all know, but let me try to give you a definition. It is being treated cruelly or violently, regular, on a regular basis. Okay, that's what being abused is, meaning that you are constantly being abused on a regular basis. Now, there is different types of abuse. It's not always physical. There are different types of abuse. I'm going to get into this. Now, you may not realize, understand that you're being abused. I'm going to give you some points to let you know what abuse is so you could see them and recognize them. Okay, the improper uses are, these are the forms of different types of abuse. Don't forget Facebook, click like and share. Thank you. Thank you. The one that we all familiar with is physical. We know physical is hitting, slapping, whipping, whatever. That is physical. That is physical abuse. That is what we all know what physical abuse is. Verbal abuse, that is another one that we are familiar with. We know what verbal abuse is. We know that that's speaking words out of your mouth to hurt that individual, to make them think that they're not going to amount to nothing, they're not going to be anything. Those are verbal abuse. You are ugly, you're fat, you don't have enough weight on you, whatever. That is verbal abuse. We are familiar with physical and verbal. This one right here is called maltreatment. Maltreatment abuse, something that is new to me, but hey, yeah, that's what it's called. Look it up. Maltreatment. Maltreatment is when you are being very aggressive. You're over aggressive with that individual. You just too rough. I can't, I don't want nobody being rough on me. I can't stand it. You are too aggressive. You know, you want to pull me to you, but you yanking me to you. You are too rough. You're too aggressive. Okay. The next one is, we all know what injury is. Injury is causing hurt or pain to an individual where they would have to go to the hospital. Sometimes you may see someone that have bruises on their bodies. They may have a black eye. That person is being abused. That is called an injury abuse. Okay. If those things are happening, you are being abused. Okay. The next one is assault. We know what assault is. Assault is doing something physical to someone that's going to cause you to get locked up. Okay. Something that is going against the law. You are assaulting that individual. Violation, that means that you're going against the wishes of that individual. Also, I wanted to get into certain examples of violation is when you're getting more into molestation, whether it's with you or your children. Okay, I want to tap into that. This is very important. Another improper uses, which is abuse. This is what we're talking about. I'm giving you examples of abuse. We know there's more than physical and verbal. Okay, the next one is rape. We know what the word rape is, R-A-P-E. That's having sex without consent. If there's penetration and I didn't allow you to do that, then that is called rape. If that is happening to you, then you are being abused. The next one is unjust practice. This goes on a lot. This goes on a lot. If this is happening to you, then yes, you are being abused. This is when you are with someone and you are having sex with that individual, and that individual is taking pictures of you, that individual is taking video of you, and without your consent. That means that you are having sex and you do not know, you did not give them permission to do that. Okay, that is a form of an abuse. This is something that is going on quite often. Okay. We have crimes. We know what crimes are. That means that you can be prosecuted. You're doing something to that individual that is going to cause you, again, to get locked up. So those are certain improper uses, ladies. If these things are happening to you, you are being abused. Again, physical abuse, verbal abuse, maltreatment. That means they're very aggressive with you. Injury abuse. That means something on you is hurting. You have a bruise, something is broke. Okay. Injury abuse. If that is happening, you are being abused. Assault. Okay. Violation. Going against what I said that you can do. I want to tap on here with these kids. You can go and be with someone that is they are not abusing you, but they can go over you and go to your children. It goes into molestation, a lot of other things that can be going on. The abuse also comes in where the grown-up person is aware and they're not saying because they are scared. They don't know what's going to happen. I know it's kind of raw, but this is going on, okay? Ladies, if this is happening to you, you are in an abusive relationship. If anyone is doing anything to your children and you are aware of it, but you're scared to say something, that is a form of abuse and molestation. Wow. Rape. We talked about rape. If anybody is having sex with you and you have not consented, then that is called rape. Okay. Unjust practice. That is taking photos or videos. You did not give consent, but they are doing it behind your back and you don't know nothing about it. Okay. That is a form of being abused. So we also talked about crime. We know that that's doing something without your permission to you, your body, or your children. And because of that, you can get prosecuted. All right, let's deal with 4 basic types of abuse. 4 basic types of abuse. If these things are happening to you, ladies, okay, then you are being abused. We talked about physical and emotional. We know what physical is. Hitting you, slapping you, choking you, anything like that, we know that you are being abused. Okay? We know that you are being abused. Emotional, your words, name calling, we know what that is. Okay? Also persuading you that you're not going to amount to anything. They have abused you mentally to the point where you just think that you can't do better. You think that there's no way out of your situation. You think that you're not going to be able to get out of it. Okay? That is a form of emotional abuse. This next one right here is sexual abuse. Sexual abuse could be on you, and sexual abuse could be on your children. This is very, 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 very important that I wanted to deal with. Very important that I wanted to deal with. Sexual abuse. That right there is a biggie for me, because how do I want to explain this? You could be with your mate and that person can take advantage of you with sex, and you do not want to have sex at that particular time. but that person can be so aggressive that they take it from you anyway. That is a form of abuse. I hope that I am explaining that to you right. Let me say it again because this is very important. You could be living with someone or married to someone. That other person wants to have sex with you. You say, no, not tonight. Sometimes that individual still comes back and still has aggressive sex with you. That is a form of an abuse. Ladies, you know the difference when it is willingly and when it is not. You know the difference when it is aggressive, when you're scared to say no, when you're scared to say not now. That is a form of abuse. This is something that needs to be dealt with and needs to be talked about. If that is going on with you, then you are being abused. So we got physical, emotional, sexual abuse, neglect. Wow. Neglect. Neglect. We all know what that word is. Neglect. Physical neglect. We know what that is. That means that individual doesn't touch you. They don't hug you. They don't kiss you. You know, that could be attached to more than one thing. They could be emotionally abusing you as well as neglect. Okay? If that is going on, something is wrong, because you don't want to be in a relationship with someone that you're supposed to love. You don't want to be living with someone that you're supposed to love and there is no physical contact. Something is wrong. That is a form of abuse. A form of abuse. It is called neglect. Okay? They don't want to hug you. They don't want to be even intimate with you. It's not always about sex, but they don't even want to be intimate with you. Something's going on. That's a red flag. So if that is going on, either we need to find out what the issue is. That's tapping into some other stuff, but I want to kind of stay on abuse. Okay, so we have neglect, physical neglect. Okay, we know what that is. We said no hugging, no intimacy, and no sex. They are and let me put it this way: there's nothing physically wrong with that individual. They're not having any physical issues that's going to keep them from doing that, from having sex with you. Is that they just don't want to. Probably because they're not feeling you, or they're doing something with someone else, but they are married to you. Okay, that is a form of neglect. Okay, all right. This one right here, educational neglect. This right here, I have not seen this a lot, but I know that this goes on. It is called educational neglect. This is when you are with someone and you have children, or it's just you and you have children, but you are not allowing that child or your children to go to school to get education. You are keeping them from learning. That is a form of abuse. Either your mate is telling you to do this, for your children. No, they're not going to go to school. No, they're not going to learn online. No, they don't need to do this. They need to stay home and work. They need to go outside and work in the garden. They need to go outside and work in the field. They need to go outside and get another job. No, that is a form of abuse, and it especially happens with children. There's a lot of things with this abuse, ladies. We can get involved with an individual, and that abuse can not only abuse us, but if we have children, that can go over to our child. Okay, so this brings a very important, I'm getting ready to close, and that's all I'm going to talk about tonight. We have to be careful of who we commit ourselves to when we have children. I am very particular about that. We have to be careful. So ladies, we have to keep ourselves safe. Not only do we have to keep ourselves safe, we have to think about our children. So we want to make sure before we get in that committed relationship, okay, we want to check all the avenues as much as we can. One thing I want to talk about, and I forgot to mention this. It is okay if you are getting ready to date someone, if you're thinking about living together or married together. I said living together because that's what people are doing. Everybody is not getting married. So yes, I said living together. We just doing it. Okay. It is what it is. Some people are living together and they're not married, don't want to get married. You know, I said that. One thing I did not mention last night and I forgot. Ladies, it is okay before you get into that committed relationship. You can do a background check on that person. There is nothing wrong with that. Why? Because we are in an area now of these days where there are a lot of things that is happening to women. They're being kidnapped. You know, we're meeting, we have the online dates. You know, I can only see you through a camera, but I don't really know how you are until I get with you. I can just talk to you on the phone. Your voice sounds good. You sound sexy, but I don't really know nothing about you until I get with you and start spending some time, you know. So it's okay to do a background check. I would suggest that you do a background check. I'm going to say even the ones that you think you know, because sometimes the people that you think you know, you don't know them. Huh? All right. So it's okay, ladies. Remember, once again, you will always see the signs before you get into it. So tonight, again, we talked about you are now in that relationship. You're either living together or you're married. You don't know if you're being abused. Sometimes people can't see it. We talked about if you're being physically abused, that's abuse. If you're being emotionally abused, that's abuse. If you're allowing your children to be abused, that's abuse. If you coming to work and you got black eyes, hickeys all over the place, you got sores, bumps, scratches, whips, bruises, you're being abused. Okay? Okay, that is a form of abuse. Recognize that. All right. That's all I have for you tonight. Again, if you feel uneasy and if you know that something's not right, pay attention. Pay attention to your spirit. Tomorrow, we are going to be talking about the strength to walk away. Yes, there are things that we have to do in order to prepare ourselves to walk away. We're being abused and we need to walk away. So we're going to talk about that tomorrow, walking away. I'm going to give you some tips on how to walk away from that abusive relationship. And then I'm going to tell you a story about myself. How about that? All right, guys. Once again, this is Lady A Ward. Thank you once again for tuning in on the YouTube channel. Don't forget to click like and share. You will be able to see all of my music videos along with my courses that I teach. Thank you also, Facebook, Instagram, and Ward's Fun Podcast. We will see you tomorrow night, which is going to be Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. Have a good night. Be blessed. See you soon. Bye.